Hey guys, I wanted to do a fun little tutorial for you today. I'm going to be using the NYX Earth Palette. Just to let you guys know before we get any further, this video is sponsored by NYX, so thank you NYX Cosmetics, thank you to you guys for supporting me. If you guys aren't into sponsored videos, now's your time to click away. So this is the Earth Palette from NYX. I got chosen to be the face of this palette. So we got to go down and do a photo shoot with NYX. Myself and 5 other influencers were chosen for the other 5 elements. Just to let you guys know, I didn't create this palette. I didn't have any input to it, and I don't reap any benefits from the sales. I just got to do kind of a fun photo shoot with them, and now I get to show you guys how I use it. All right, guys, let's jump into it. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my Burberry foundations. I was talking about these the other day in my favorites video. So I'm going to be mixing number 12 Ochre Nude and number 32 Honey. And I'm not going to mix that with any moisturizer because I'm a new woman. And I'm just going to start buffing that into the skin on my little Artiste brush. Man, I just love this foundation. I feel like it's just exactly what I'm looking for in life. So what do I have to tell you about? Well, I went to the Face Awards in LA for NYX, and it was actually really pleasant. I'm gonna pop on my concealer. I think I'm gonna do a mix of the Burberry and the Tarte Shape Tape. Yeah. So the Face Awards was actually really pleasant. I normally, I don't know if you know this, but I very much try to avoid events. I just feel, I guess, like a little bit of an outsider when it comes to a lot of the events down in LA. It's not really, you know, they're not really people I'm close with, and, you know, it's just not necessarily my comfort zone. But this event was actually so fun. It was a lot like how it kind of used to be. Like, there was not a ton of bigger influencers there. It was a lot of like mid-size accounts and smaller accounts, and just a lot of like really good people that were genuinely just there to kind of like mingle and hang out and chat, and it was really enjoyable, and it just was a lot of like people supporting each other, and it was just really fun, and I had a really good time. And Jamie Page got to come down with me, and we got to hang out, and that was really nice because obviously we don't get to see each other a ton living in different parts of Canada. When I went to go wet my beauty blender, I just saw the remains of this banana in the sink. Like, okay, so basically what had happened was we ran out of sandwich bags, like Ziploc bags, because I was freezing. I chop up bananas and then I like freeze them in Ziploc bags to use for smoothies. And like these bananas were on their last leg, and I ran out of sandwich bags, and there was none at this like store that's super close by. And then I've just been busy, so like I didn't get the chance to go pick them up, but they were gonna rot otherwise. So I was like, I think I could probably just put them in the freezer like full, like in their sheaths. Peels. I don't know why sheaths came to mind sooner. I'm gonna put them like in the freezer in their peels still. And for some reason in my mind, I was like, I kind of think that like this won't be an issue. Like, I kind of think they'll still peel. And I also feel like I've seen people do this before, so I was like, yeah, this will be no problem. It was a problem. I'm just gonna put my Urban Decay primer potion all over my eyeballs. I can't believe how long it took me to start using this stuff. I don't know why I was so set in my ways, but I do love it. I feel like I have makeup issues happen like overnight, and it's literally not even the cause of me changing up products, but I'll be using the same foundation for months, and then suddenly it'll just start creasing in my fine lines. And that's what kind of started happening with me with my eye primer, was it started creasing in my eyes, and there was no reason for it. No reason at all. It just started happening. Okay, I'm gonna quickly whip on my brows off camera, and then I will bring you guys back in. We'll do some eyes together, and then we'll jump back to face later. Okie dokie, we're gonna move on to the eyes. I'm gonna be using the NYX Earth Palette. I can't really get it in the frame. A lot of people are comparing it to the Subculture palette. Personally, I find the Earth Palette to be a little bit more subdued, which might be a little bit more approachable if you're somebody that doesn't normally use these kinds of colors. I also find this formula to be a lot more similar to that of Makeup Geek as opposed to the Subculture palette, which was very, very pigmented, almost to the point where people found it a lot more difficult to use than a traditional shadow formula. Just wanted to quickly touch on that because I know people have been comparing it, so there's my kind of thoughts. They do have some similar colors and pairings, but the formulas are quite different, and all in all, I do find this palette to be more subdued. So I'm going to start by taking color number 3 right there on my Sigma E36 brush. I don't feel like I've been giving this brush enough credit lately. I've really been liking it a lot. I'm just going to take that color and start to build it up on my outer corner. We're going to start doing our Smoky V. You can also bring it all the way across your crease. And I'm going to be blending this just a touch above my crease because we're going to be cutting it today. Next, I'm going to grab a little bit of number 12. Same thing, just going to blend a little bit of that in there to start adding in some depth and a little bit more warmth as well. And I'm just kind of extending this a little bit longer than I normally would. Okay, then I'm going to take number 4 on this Cosette S185 brush. And I'm going to start by applying it right on the outer corner, swiping down towards my lash line. And then I can start going into the crease a little bit once there's less product on my brush. So for this color, you want to blend more so down towards the lid as opposed to upwards because you don't want to muddy those colors together. We're using warm tones and cool tones here, so it can get muddy quite fast. So you almost want to keep the colors a little bit more separate, whereas normally you could kind of just blend right into each other and it would be no problem. You can totally mix warm tones and cool tones together and it creates a really nice effect, but you just need to be a little bit more particular with your placement. I'm going to go back with my Sigma E36 brush and I'm just going to place it right between the two tones, and I picked up a little bit more of that number 12 color, that kind of warm brown, to aid with our blending here. Then I'm going to pick up shade number 1 on my Smith 247 brush, and I'm going to go right between right here on my brow bone and that middle color there, and I'm just going to diffuse the edges with this. I'm going to grab number 6 and my Volair E08 brush. This looks like a tiny version of the MAC 239 shader brush. And I'm going to start to pack that green color on the inner corner and the outer corner as well. This color will have a little bit more follow because there is some glitter in it, so just be wary of that. And then I'm taking it right into my crease and basically bridging the gap here, creating our little halo. So if you're wondering how I like to take care of my follow, I will take the same brush that I used to blend up my concealer, and instead of swiping away, I will just basically push upwards, which will pick up a lot of the loose particles, and then I'll kind of wipe it off on the back of my hand, and then I'll go ahead and swipe back and forth. Jumping back into my Sigma E36 brush, I'm just going to use that color number 12, and I'm going to go all the way across once more, now that we have our green put down. And then I'm also going to grab a little bit of color number 8 and just put it just above where we put that number 12 color. And again, I'm just taking a clean brush and diffusing that. So now I just grabbed a little bit of my primer potion on a Smith 304 brush, and I'm going to go in and cut just the center of my crease. So you want to put the brush down first where you want the most pigmentation, and then once you have less of that primer on your brush, you can kind of tap towards the outer corners. Then I'm going to grab color 11 on my Zoeva 226 brush, and I'm just packing that on, again right to the center, tapping my brush towards these outer corners once I have less pigmentation on my brush. So when I did this, I kind of liked how it looked like almost subdued Peacock vibes, but I wanted to add a little something extra, so I just went in with my Stila Smoky Storm, and I'm just grabbing that on my Smith 304 brush again. And again, we're gonna start right at the top and then just kind of pat down towards that lash line and then towards the inner and outer corner, diffusing that glitter as far as we want. Sorry, my white balance went a little weird. I don't know what to do about it. Anyways, I'm gonna grab my little Sigma LO4 brush and just a tiny little bit of my Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I'm going to put this right on my inner corner, blending it just a little bit under my lower lash line. And then I'm going to pick up shade number 8 right there. Just on the same brush, and I'm going to just pat that right over top. And hope that putting that extra primer down stops my eyes from watering. Then I'm just gonna take my Real Techniques accent brush, and color number 4. And I'm just going to bring that right under my lower lash line on the bottom, outer corner. Just a touch. And then I'm going to pick up number 12 and number 3 right there on a little Smith 247 brush. And I'm just going to smoke that out a little bit on the bottom lash line. So this is the final look. Okay, I'm gonna do the rest of my face. I'm gonna be using my Benefit Hoola Light Bronzer, and I'm just going to quickly bust out a little contour with this. I've been liking this minimal skin dewy thing just more and more lately, man. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Glossier Haloscope in Quartz. I'm gonna put that on my finger, and I just like to kind of tap it on. Apparently Glossier ships to Canada now. Did they see my harassing tweets? Perhaps. Have they reached out to me to send me stuff? Absolutely not. No, they have not. That's what I get for my slanderous activity. That is what I get, my friend. A lot of you guys have recommended the Ciate Dewy Stick to me. Do you like it? How many of you have tried it? I want to know more. Tell me your thoughts, feelings, emotions. Dying to hear it. I know you're probably dying to hear my favorite nude lip combination that I've been liking lately. I'm about to tell you. It's this Perricone MD No Lipstick Lipstick. Old standby, so good. I do love this just by itself. I think it's so pretty. I also find it nice and moisturizing. It's just a good, just all around good product. And then I've been using my Too Faced Sweet Peach Creamy Peach Oil Lip Gloss in Peach Fuzz. And I've just been going right over top of that. I don't love this product. I don't necessarily think it's like a good product, but I seem to be using it a lot. It's like super streaky when I go to apply it, and I can't get it to not be streaky other than by just wearing it. Literally, I just have to like let it live, and then eventually it ends up looking nice. Anyways, you guys, let me go pop in my hair extensions and make myself look a little bit more presentable, and then I'll do my outro. All right, you guys, so that's everything for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something cool today. Let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments below, and I'll get back to you. All right, guys, peace out.